Hey, it's
All
coffee
right.
chat. It's 9:30. We're gonna be here chatting. So this is my brother-in-law Jeff. This is a brother-in-law I actually kind of like.
Hey.
Uh, are you my only brother-in-law right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That
only brother-in-law right now. So he's my favorite. Uh, Jeff, what are you drinking these days? Right now? Oh, you got a
margarita. I'll be switching to gin and tonic at 2 o'clock.
well. That's as only a proper gentleman will do.
Yes.
Yeah. So besides drinking, what do you got planned for the day?
That would be it. Maybe
Yeah, that's
eating,
a
but pretty much drinking
yeah. I think that's eating, drinking. I think if you can get those things down, that's pretty good. I would take that.
and
That's a pretty
social
good thing.
distancing from your sister.
Well, I it's only prudent. I feel bad. Like that seems a little harsh. You guys are occupying the same space. Do you walk around with like Lysol gloves and just clean everything as you walk by, just making sure you're protected?
That would be your mother.
Quite possibly. That is quite possible. Um, yeah. So I am getting so tired of social media. I noticed that you're posting a lot on social media recently, right? That's true. It feels like it is because
Uh,
I haven't seen a ton of stuff from you ever in the past, but like now I'm seeing a bunch of stuff. Maybe it's because I'm on social media more, but
that could be it.
yeah, man, I can't stand it. It's like it's
It's ugly.
compulsive. Like I keep going back. Yeah. Oh well. Got to find something to do. Yesterday I
So
took.
is it just us?
It's just the two of us. Yeah, so you can literally say whatever you
Oh,
want.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just literally whatever you want. They don't have a censor on here. You could say all sorts of horrid things.
You're
Tell
kidding.
your yeah,
Wow.
tell about your horrible stories from the past and um gosh,
I told
anything
those to
really.
Corey, and he's trying to relive them all.
That's yeah. Yeah. That's what happens, right? You hear all the like cautionary tales like look, if three hookers in in Bangkok want to offer $20, like don't do it. The next time three hookers in Bangkok come up to me, I'm like $20 are ready, and they're like, no, that was a long time ago. It's much higher now.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
those the type of stories? I
No,
don't
it's
know.
like
I'm just
40. Yeah, it's 40.
it's 40 now. It's 40 now. Yeah,
Here,
but
I'll let your sister.
Hey.
hey,
Oh, there we go.
are you
Sort of.
drinking a margarita as well this morning?
Oh, no, no. Actually, I am without a beverage.
Oh, well, that's okay. Maybe you grab a quiche or a scone from the counter. That's something you can also do.
Nah. No,
You
I
got to
may
do something
just
because
take his glass.
we're sitting here in the coffee shop, and I mean they're busy. I don't want to take up their space without buying something, you know. At least I want to pretend like it's real life, so that's what I do.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
No, he
so
won't share.
I'll get you one. You
yeah,
ready?
I'm sure he'd get you one. So you guys you live on a farm in Ohio, and
Yes.
what do you currently farm? Is there anything that you're currently farming?
Um,
One chicken, one duck.
we've got one chicken, one duck.
And
Uh,
one beer, right? Is that how that song goes?
Yeah.
and we've got two tubs of potatoes growing, and that's about it.
Onion.
Okay,
It will be some onion.
so when we talk about
It's a thing.
sustainability, you guys are not living the
We're
sustainability
working
life.
on it. We're working
Okay, all
on
right,
it.
yeah. Yeah, you're gonna get
We're
real
working.
goddamn tired of potatoes, that's for sure. Did you ever see that movie? What was the movie where Matt Damon was stuck on Mars.
Yeah,
The Martian.
yeah,
The Martian. Yeah,
The
The
Martian.
Martian. I read
yeah.
the book. I actually never saw the movie, but I did read the book. And yeah, the way he talks about potatoes, man, it's like, ugh, it's like getting stuck on a
Hey, you
desert
can only
island
make
and
so
all
much
you have is
bucktails.
coconuts. Yeah, exactly. Like at some point, you're just like, I will literally eat anything other than. That's what I'll do.
A potato.
A potato. A potato.
Yeah,
They're
no.
great.
Yeah, we're waiting. It's too cold to plant anything else. Kendi's got our daughter Kendi has all kinds of seedlings in the greenhouse waiting to go out into the garden, but we gotta
Oh
wait.
yeah, but if you put them out too early, like they get chilly and stay in. I
Oh,
planted a
well,
whole
we've
bunch of like.
had
Go ahead.
we have a whole bunch of tomatoes and peppers, and we've had 3 days of freezes, so way too early.
Yeah, I actually did plant a bunch of mixed greens and whatnot, and then the weather totally cooperated with me, so it was kind of great. So I've got these little sprouts, and they're so cute when they're little. And then I've got plants from last year that actually survived, which is crazy. Hey, how are you?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Doing really good. Doing really good. Yeah. I do this to stay sane, so at least I'm connecting with people. That's how I feel.
Yeah. It's not working.
So wait, you guys did something the other night that I didn't realize you did. You had the entire family on some sort of
Messenger.
It was
video.
first time, and it was Corey that started that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Corey
Yeah,
started.
I like how when I suggested, everybody's like, "No, that'd be cute," and then Corey says, "Hey, let's do this," and everybody jumps on. That's great.
Okay,
That's good.
well,
That really, I don't feel whatever. So that's cool. How did that go?
it went really well.
Other than all the terrible feedback.
Yeah,
Oh,
we had two
no one
devices
uses headphones. That's the problem.
Well, no, it wasn't my hearing aids. We think it was the ship. We think because Corey
sure.
was on deck, and so, but yeah, we've got a family chat room on Messenger, and so he started the
He
video.
called everybody.
He called the chat room, and everybody got called, and before we knew it, we had everybody except we had to wake Aiden up.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
had to
that's
wake
cool.
Aiden up.
It wasn't the middle of the day like you insist on doing.
You're right.
Some
I
of
know. I
us
get.
have work to do at 12:30.
Yeah, some of us do. Yes, that's true. That's true. I picked 9:30 as like an arbitrary time because I figured everybody gets to work. If they have to work, they have to do emails first thing in the morning, and that usually takes a half hour. And then maybe they plan their day, and then by 9:30 West Coast time, which is where I'm at, by that time they're like, ugh, before I start any real work, is there any way to waste time? At least that's how my mind worked.
Yeah.
So waste time with us.
So,
Well, that's cool. I think that's really cool that that you did that. And it went pretty well except for the feedback.
the only problem, if it wasn't the ship, then it was the fact that we had two devices on in the same room.
And everybody was hearing everybody, which I've never had happen before.
Right.
In any of
We were getting a little bit of echo also because of it. But so I think next time we'd be better off just using
headphones.
one device.
Headphones.
Well,
Headphones are really the key.
My
That's
hearing
like
aids work for that.
Perfect. Are they Bluetooth? Bluetooth hearing aids?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
Goes directly
pretty
into my
cool.
phone.
That is cool.
Yeah, unless you're sitting next to her and she's having this whole conversation, you're only hearing half.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes eavesdropping much more difficult. Now, wait. Okay, so this is something we can talk about. You remember back when, were you around when you picked up the phone and you could hear your neighbor's conversation? Was that a thing that you experienced?
Party line?
That would
Yes.
have been, Grandma had that.
Yeah.
Grandma had that when she moved up there. Now, I don't remember it because I was never allowed to answer the phone as a kid.
We had a party line for a while.
A party, yeah, it's a party
All right,
line, right?
so
Like,
you-
yeah, so it's like 5 or 6 houses are on one circuit, and when you picked it up, you could hear what your neighbors were
Right.
saying, right? Yeah, that is.
Right.
I think about that. Like, what if that was happening today? Like, that would be such a wild experience, right?
Well, there was that experience. Plus, then there was the experience to wait until after 7 to call somebody long distance because it was cheaper.
Sure.
Uh,
I mean, I'm of the era of
I mean-
calling cards where you had a calling card, you had to enter in a, like a 15-digit number before you
Right.
actually, yeah. But yeah, I was thinking party lines because what would what would that look like today with like the internet? Like party line
it
internet
would look like
where you
Zoom.
pick up, would it, or would it look a lot worse because you pick up the internet and your neighbor, like what would that look like at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night? Like it would just be
Scary.
porn, wouldn't it? Like it would just be
That's like
nothing but.
last night. I think we had to wait for Aiden to put clothes on.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't part of that. Yeah, I could just imagine like you're getting in the groove, and next thing you know, shit, Grandma and Grandpa are calling. What do I do? Do I
think
drop
that's
the
exactly
phone and
what
pull up my
happened.
pants? It's a George Costanza moment. Oh, Aiden, he's not here to defend himself.
No, he's not.
No, he'd
He's
get
not awake.
he would be embarrassed and not talk to us for a while. And
No, of course, yes.
Yeah.
So it's better to do all that stuff behind.
of course,
people's
that would be
backs,
like
so.
you and Catcher, right?
No, man. Well, yeah, because Catcher would say things, and I would be like, "I'm so embarrassed." Yeah, yeah. I don't have any dirt on Catcher. Catcher is stealthy. Like
Ooh, that's scary then.
Yeah, he either doesn't do anything bad or does it so well. I have no idea. He could be running heroin. I have no idea, but he seems like a good kid.
Did you ever see him?
Catcher?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he lives with me half the time, and since I've been unemployed for a year, we've been spending a lot of time together.
What do you mean
Yeah.
unemployed? So, how are the book sales coming?
Oh, that's an awful question to ask somebody.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I had family members that didn't even buy the book.
Damn, I wonder who that was.
Me.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, no, that's okay.
I thought I read-
Only
I'm
by look.
unemployed right now.
Yeah, so is everybody else. I didn't
I'm not.
expect anybody to actually buy the book. That was not a thing. But
Actually, Kendi did, and she's been trying
Kendi
to
did.
promote it through her company.
cool.
She'd
Yeah,
like
that's
to get
good.
you to corporate sponsor, as a corporate speaker at one of their meetings. But
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm just joking. Like the thing I learned with my podcast, the number one lesson I learned from my podcast is do not
Family don't
rely
matter?
on. No, yes, but do not rely on family and friends. They usually you're gonna go broke doing that. That's not that's not to say that's me too. Like I'm also in that, but to asking around like that's the like number one thing is like, well, yeah, I thought it's like no, don't do that. They'll be there to encourage you, but they won't be there. But yeah, I really
Financially,
appreciate that. No, financially, no. but yeah, I took a break from the podcast.
so you had
and
Jackie show up to one of these?
No, and I don't know what's going on today. It doesn't look like anybody's showing up today. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh well, doesn't matter. I do this. I am
That's
not doing
okay. It
this
is
for
nice
anybody
seeing your
else.
face.
Yeah, that's why I do this, because I like seeing people. I like doing this and hanging out and drinking coffee. Although I drink only coffee, that's a problem.
Well, then go get
I,
you another cup.
yeah, you gonna keep everybody entertained? I'm gonna put you here.
Okay,
There, you could be
fine.
the
Great.
sole person. Make sure you're entertaining for people.
Great. So we're waiting for someone else to join, huh? Anybody? Boy. Now I understand why Sue really enjoys doing this. Really gives you a wonderful feeling of self importance. So, yeah. I bet you he would feel really bad if I left while he was gone getting another cup of coffee. I wonder what kind of coffee he drinks. I wonder if he gets the coffee that the cat eats the beans and shits the beans out, and then they reprocess the beans. Yeah, I bet you he's one of those types of coffee drinkers. Come on. You're sitting
Not
there
not
laughing,
as
but
not
you
as
show
easy
it
as
to
it
us.
looks, is it? For some reason, you start talking,
No,
everybody
it's
shows
not.
up.
No.
It
So
is not one of
we
those
did
things where,
enjoy picking on you.
yeah, fair enough. That's what I, so I did over here, and I have to run and grab the coffee. I use a Keurig machine. I On my podcast, I had somebody who shamed me for using the Keurig machine, and so I had to change up
Right.
my game. So now what I get is I get,
So French
and
press.
it's not local, but the next batch will be local, I promise. But it is, it's fair trade coffee because she shamed me about the type of coffee and the waste. So I get
Right.
Amazon Fresh, which is actually really good. You get 3 packages for $20. It's a good deal, and the coffee's pretty good. But I do need to start buying local
Good.
beans because I'm a piece of garbage for not buying local beans, according to
So you do a
Oregon
French press
law.
now?
I have been doing a French press for this show, but I still use the Keurig. I don't produce any waste. So I have
Okay. So you
reusable
just do the
cups
K
and,
cup.
mhm,
Right.
yeah.
You
And
you
it's
you
convenient.
you're so good that way. That's
Uh,
okay. I make up for you.
yeah, well, I mean, trust
Yeah.
me, it was, you know what, the other thing it did though is it actually slowed down my coffee consumption because it was like so easy. I'd be like, bang, 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 and I'd be at the
Yeah.
like by 3 o'clock. I'd be like, I've had like 8 cups of coffee. What's going on with me?
I'm I'm surprised your dad still drinks it because of the cost. I don't think he's done the math yet.
No, they did do the math. That I helped them out with, because I've got them the Keurig machine, which for a
Right.
while was kind of cool because like you could walk into a Goodwill and see a Keurig machine for $10. Yeah, all you had to do was take it home to scale it a little bit, and you had like a brand new Keurig machine. So
Right.
I got them that, and I actually got them coffee for it, and they were like, Dad, right off the bat was like, it's so expensive, blah blah blah. And I told him how much I paid for the coffee. And he's like, oh, really? Because, and now he's Mr. Coffee. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
if he still throws in the Fireball in the morning, but
Oh, I'm
he was,
sure he's doing it now,
yeah.
since he really can't do as much as he would like.
No, he cannot. He did go play golf right before everything got done. Now, are they opening up golf courses? Is this something I'm hearing?
So some golf courses are opening because they justify that there's enough distance between golfers and all that.
Yeah, that
So
didn't make any sense to me. Like closing down the state parks kind of sucked. But the golf courses didn't make any sense because they really do kind of mandate social distancing. Like you're only gathering in
right,
groups of 4, so I don't know,
right.
whatever. I'm not trying to fight this. I, I mean, how much of the conspiracies do you uh, have you seen, and how many of them do you give any sort of like
Credence too.
validation to? Yeah, credence to. I was gonna say credence, but I decided to go with a simpler word for some reason.
Oh, because you figured I'm not smart enough to understand the big words because I'm a Midwestern farmer.
Well, I figured you didn't buy a fucking book, so you didn't. It's because you didn't know how to read. So
Well, Kendi bought
Just
it, so I thought I could share.
I'm just kidding. Hey, why don't you
I
talk
couldn't-
about conspiracies real quick? Talk about these conspiracies. I need to go grab the coffee.
I don't know of any conspiracies other than, this was a Chinese weaponized virus, but and I don't believe that. I believe we're just stupid. But got to wonder about, the World Health Organization, what the World Health Organization's doing,
What they knew.
What did they know before
Well, yeah. I mean, I
we got
just I read today that funding's getting cut or delayed.
Yep. Yeah. Trump is cutting off all funding to them, which, we give them $400 billion a year and they don't do anything. And supposedly Taiwan told them that it was passed from human to human and they did not pass that information on because they didn't believe the Taiwanese. But that's.
Yeah, that's odd. Why wouldn't they believe Taiwan? Like, has Taiwan been like the?
Because no one associates with Taiwan, because if you associate with Taiwan, you get the Chinese pissed because according to them, Taiwan still belongs to them. And it just starts all sorts of political issues. If Taiwan is even mentioned with the word China. Yeah, it's yeah.
Hey, Brandon. Yeah, it's like it's
so
like
what
in high
conspiracies
school.
have you heard that you believe?
So the craziest one to me was actually said to me by a friend of mine who is very smart. I think I talked about this like last week, but he's very smart and he makes way more money than I do, which is why I listen to him. But he'll then
which is like
sneak in.
50 cents a book, right?
Ouch. So the thing he does though is he'll like tell me something and it's like, hey, do this thing and you'll be surprised, you'll make money. And I'm like, oh, he's like, yeah, that sounds amazing and brilliant. And then he'll turn around and say, and I have something else to tell you too, but I don't know if you're ready for it. And of course, at this point, I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, you just told me how if I make if you make coloring books, people will buy them online. Like, that's right. So I'm like, yeah, tell me. And like a couple years ago, he was like, well, you know how they have you believing that the world is round? So recently he hit me with yeah. So recently he was telling me something else and I was yes. So he was telling me about something with the book and telling me like, hey, do this. And he's very smart about like the monetary market. And he's telling me about that. And then he says, and I got something else to tell you, but I don't know if you're ready. And I'm like, oh boy. Because it's been years of me going, yeah. And then he tells me and I'm like, whew. So he says, it's these 5G towers are causing the coronavirus. And I was like,
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? How does that even work? It's a virus, right? Like virus,
Right.
It's not like a computer virus. It's like a biological virus. It doesn't come from electronics. He's like, I don't know,
And
man.
how do you account for those countries that don't have 5G where the people are still getting the virus?
That's how powerful 5G is. But I mean, it's amazing because he buys into all of the, and I know he's not listening right now, which is great. But he buys into all of those conspiracy theories, like every single one of them, like HARP, where they can aim and cause an earthquake, right? Like that's not real, is it?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh.
You think
so?
If we could control the weather, that not everyone would have weather like Hawaii?
Fair enough. No, I agree. I agree. That's the thing. Or the chemtrails in the sky from the jets, and I'm like, no, that's like vapor. Like that's what
Yeah.
that is. They have science that tells us what these things
No,
are.
no, that's the pee from the pilots. It's once they pee out of the
Yeah.
suits, it goes right down and turns into that vapor. So that's
Man, how much do those guys drink? That's a
they drink a
lot of
lot of
vapor.
coffee. They should be on the show. Yeah.
That's right. Well, what happens when they do the other thing? Because that's what coffee does for me. Is it goes the other way.
Okay. That comes out as frozen bricks and lands in people's houses and things like that in the fields. And of course, they had to cut all that
Surprise.
out back in the. They used to do that up until the 70s.
Is that right?
But yes, yes, they used to dump it just like trains dump all the poop on the tracks. The planes used to dump it all from the sky, and you
It's like,
get these
hey,
frozen packs.
hey, do you hear Wile E. Coyote falling? And it's like, what? Splat. Yeah, gross. That's super gross.
Yep, gross but true. I mean, when we were taking the train from Italy to France, they still poop on the tracks. Because you'd go there flush and you could see the tracks right below you.
That's so crazy. What is it?
That was a year
So is it
ago.
like, yeah, do you feel like a little bit of like breeze on your tuchus when you do that?
Oh yes, yes.
Is that refreshing or?
Well, here, I gotta go get me.
Please, no,
More-
Okay.
don't show us pictures. Just kidding.
No.
No examples, no demonstrations.
No, it's like you go in, you use the toilet. So it's kind of mostly the way I guess best described is similar to an RV toilet. Okay, you use toilet in an RV. Everything's in the commode until you flush, and then it goes down in an RV into a holding tank. Not so on a train. On a train, it goes straight
All the way
from the
through.
commode to the tracks. And so they tell you, or at least they told us, as we were waiting to leave the station in Italy, do not use the restrooms when we are stopped at a station.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, because you'd be just like this huge pile, and as soon as you took off, everybody on the sides waving goodbye to their, loved ones would get splattered, right?
Exactly. And it would be pretty, we say aromatic. So yeah. So no, they don't want you using the facilities on the train when you're in the station.
Do they use the rationale like as they're driving off, like the birds will eat it, or what do they? What's the, like? Does it just kind of like what happens to it? Is that how they get hills on the train tracks? Like,
I wouldn't have a clue there.
Yeah, gosh, that is interesting. Also, yeah, makes me not want to go on a train. But that's not like that here, right? We probably, actually, that's probably the most practical way to handle that type of thing in a train. What's probably the least.
Well, now the trains. Okay, I've taken a train from like the Baltimore area to New York, and that's more like the RV sort of situation. And so if it's hot day on a commuter train, it can be a little aromatic if the system's not working properly. But now, as far as I know, those are more holding tanks for obvious reasons. I mean, after all, you've got a highly populated area there.
That's true. Although it's Baltimore. Just kidding. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know. I could have thrown it. It's, if you were passing through Washington, D.C., that would be a perfect spot.
Yeah, why do we have to hold this at such a weird angle?
I don't know.
It's
Yeah, so
it,
where your camera's at really kind of helps. So I find like if I've got the camera down, I look too squinty and I look like
it
I'm asleep. So I actually have the camera up a little bit, so when I look at the camera, my eyes have to open.
well,
Yeah,
the problem is this one,
camera
the
dynamics.
camera's sitting off to one side, and so
Well,
you
no
got to
matter, it's
hold it
gonna be
off
in the shower.
to the
Did you see
opposite
the
side so
one
that you're
where
not
the
looking at
wife
the side of your head or
swapped
something
out
like that. So,
uh, hand
Yes.
sanitizer with the lube because
Yeah.
her husband was using it all the
so
time. So they had a barbecue.
All right. Well, I am just about done with my cup of coffee. You didn't even have a cup of coffee.
no,
Are you
I
gonna?
didn't get another cup of
Yeah,
coffee.
AJ says
No.
that.
Do you
I
have to?
didn't
Do
go
you have
get
to
another
tend?
cup of coffee.
That's
Or is
okay.
it
That's
milk?
okay. I need
Mhm.
to do it because I need to go take a train trip, which is going to be my new euphemism for
Because bill
when I
collectors
have to go.
are already trying to
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
enjoy
charge
tending to your potatoes.
money.
Uh,
People are rushing
Oh, I got
to
onions
get their
too.
funds out.
oh, onions too.
And he says
Okay, so you can have
are
onions
Yeah.
and potatoes. Now, if you have onions, that's a completely different dynamic. If you can take potatoes and onions and put them together, you could probably make like 2 or 3 different meals out of that.
Yeah. Why do something simple?
That's right.
By
That's right.
buying food and
paying your bills or
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Well, I will let you guys
I'm
get on
gonna
with your
hand Jeff
day.
over so he
Okay.
can say goodbye.
Jackson
All right. Bye.
Academy.
So, what are you going to do with your stimulus check?
Pay rent, hopefully. This has been a
Well,
very
you are a
expensive.
step up.
Yeah, this has been a very expensive month for me on Facebook, trying to market stuff, and it has
Uh,
not been successful. So we're still in the testing phase of trying different things, but well, we'll see. So yeah,
so,
I
did you
did.
have a producer or someone help you, publicize the book and all that? And
Mm-mm.
have you thought about sending it to the people who do the reviews on like Good Morning America and all that to have them
Yeah, there's
just say,
a
hey, it's out there?
yeah. I need to do that. I just need to. I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety that maybe I shouldn't have done this book. So I'm like, I don't want to
Okay.
send it out if it's garbage, and I haven't gotten enough feedback yet to let me know that the book isn't garbage because I don't want to send garbage out and do that. Uh, I'm hoping the
So
feedback's
now you're
good,
making me
although
feel guilty. They have to go out and buy the book.
you don't have to buy the book. But no, the thing is, and here's the worst part is all of my reviews on Amazon, because Amazon kind of screwed up with my formatting on the book. All of my
Right.
reviews vanished. They just vanished today. So I'm like, oh, awesome. That's so good. So I've got to basically start from zero. So that's not bad. I do have to kind of remarket the book and kind of figure that stuff out. But
Uh, have you sent to universities?
no, I did have
That
somebody
do
who is
business?
no, I did have a community college contact me and say they might consider using it uh, for a class, which I was like, great. So then I
Mhm.
went through and took out all the dick jokes. But yeah, so I got to figure all that stuff out. It seems so simple, like, oh, just send this stuff out to people, and it's like, yeah, I don't know who to send it to though. So like I probably should like hire a marketer, but the thing is I wasn't expecting the book to sell very well. That was not the expectation. The book was just there because I needed to have somebody who could bind the book for when I taught classes.
Right.
I just wanted like to have like an official book as sort of an introduction to what I do, because it's a little bit different from most sales training. That
Right.
although I think the sales training's changing, which is good, and but it's no tactics, it's not manipulation, it's just what are the steps you take. And I think that most of the time, what salespeople need is they just need direction. Um,
Right.
and I'm kind of in the, I'm kind of, it's so funny because like I talk about that and I know I can understand it with transactional sales and with strategic sales, but for some reason I can't understand it with my stuff. Like I can only do this magic stuff for other people. I can never do it for myself. But whatever.
Hmm.
In the meantime, I'm gonna shame other family members until they buy the book.
Great. Did you get the Amazon order in yet?
I'll know.
Do we have free points? Do we have free
What's
points?
that? Yeah. Use your free points.
Trying to ask if
You know,
have free
actually,
points?
the best way to do it is if you subscribe to Kindle Unlimited, it's $10 and you get the book for free. That's probably the best way to do it. And then you can get all the
so
other
it's on
books.
Kindle Unlimited?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can just get it that way.
My membership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could. Geez, can I listen to it? You know, do you have it on Audible yet?
Working on
Did
it.
you get
Oh
the
God,
whole-
can I tell you this story real quick? So I've
Yeah.
started recording audiobooks as sort of like a side gig, right? And
Right, I
because
sent you that.
What?
I sent you that link. I don't know if that's what got you started or not.
Well, no, it was because I had finally finished recording my audiobook. Like I had completely finished it. And I went on to ACX, which is where you go for audiobooks. And I started futzing around with it. And then I was like, oh, you can audition for things. Like I just started auditioning for things. And then people started hiring me. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. But anyway, I
You
just
got a
finished.
good voice.
Thanks. I finished a book and then I was like, okay, got to get back to editing my book. So I go back to edit my book and I'm like listening to it and I'm like, oh man, I sound sleepy. So I was like, well, I got to re-record this section because some a-hole in a truck. He's not an a-hole. He's just driving, but he drives really slow and he has a loud car. It had driven through one of my things. I was like, oh, I got to re-record it. So I re-record it and I'm like, oh my God, that sounds way better. No. So I'm in the midst of re-recording everything.
So actually, I like the Bob Ross effect. You know, you could sit there and use it as a meditation book instead of the sales book.
Yeah.
Put people to sleep at night.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I should do. Is I should come up
I'm
with
a dick,
two
you know?
versions. Yeah. And then you think about what the customer really, exactly. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. It'd be sort of like hypnotizing people into selling better. Listen while you sleep. That's the way that works. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Learning by osmosis.
I love the
Plaster it to your
concept.
head, right?
Yeah, buy the book, put it under your pillow. Buy the digital book,
Yep.
put it on your screen, and then go to sleep to listening to me. And next thing you know, you'll be sounding like crazy.
Yep.
There you go. All right. Well, I will let you get on with your day. I've got to record an audiobook. Again.
All right. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.